Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go ahead and work on the Jeep. I'll put in a clip of what I was doing, but it's leaking coolant right back in here. At first I thought it was a water pump, but it turns out it's the front timing cover. So I got a little carried away ordering parts, and this is what we're going to be doing now. I got a clutch because my clutch is making noise, a throwout bearing I do believe, so I'm just going to replace it. It's a stage 2 racing clutch. Not that I'm going to be racing it, but why not? New bearings, got a new flywheel, got an air filter, got a timing chain and gears, or sprockets, whatever you want to call them. Spark plug wires. Got everything for the steering, ball joints and tie rod ends. Got body armor. Because of the rust hole, I'm going to fix that first. I'll show you real quick. Both sides are like this. I can't find any patch panels, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it out, weld in a good piece of metal, then I'm going to paint it and everything, then I'll go ahead and put the body armor over it. And it'll look pretty nice too, I think. Here's the gasket set. I'm still missing one, the upper end. This is the lower end. This has the timing cover and oil pan, oil pickup tube, crankshaft front seal, rear main seal, water pump mount, yeah, all that. Then I got a new exhaust pipe. When I was putting a Flowmaster on it, I realized the one that's on it is all holey and rusty, so it's getting replaced. Then I figured I might as well go ahead and put headers on it. Probably don't need to, but that's what's happening. Then I got head bolts. I was going to do the head gaskets, but I don't think I'm going to do that right now. I want to try to have it done this week, and I got some of the heads off, have them resurfaced. And I got a water pump. I'm still missing the spark plugs. I got new bushings for the doors, the door hinges. I also got new hinges for the tailgate. My tailgate drops and you got to pick up on when you shut it. So I got those. I ordered a rivet gun for these rivets for the body armor. I gotta drill holes and put all these rivets in. So I ordered the tool to do that. I'm waiting on that still. I got some parts in for my truck. I got spark plugs, air filter, I ordered rotors and pads, and rear calipers. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that video. But today we're gonna go ahead and try to get the engine out. That's the plan. It's the end of March, going to April, and the weather's been kind of nice, so I didn't want to take the Jeep apart. This week's supposed to be pretty chilly, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And I'm off Friday because of Good Friday. So my goal is to have it done by this weekend. So that's what we're gonna try to do. Seems pretty simple, hopefully. The reason why I'm pulling the engine is because since I'm doing the timing cover, the front of the engine has to come apart. And then since I'm doing a clutch, the transmission will have to come out, so I figured just pull the engine. Just so I can get it all cleaned up and put all new seals everywhere. As you can see, the intake's kind of wet right there. The valve covers are leaking. So I'm just going to replace all the gaskets. Everything except head gasket. Then you can see how rusty the manifolds are. The passenger side cat has they had a bolt threaded into a hole and it fell out on me, so I welded it. So we're gonna do away with all this. Then I also got plugs and wires. The plugs haven't came yet. Very well, it's out, might as well go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna try to get the engine out and make that one video. I'm gonna try not to drag it along too far. So first thing I want to do is go ahead and remove the battery, drain all the fluids out of it, remove the intake, the filter box and the intake tube. Then remove all the wiring. First thing I want to start with, I might see if I got any Freon in the AC system. If I don't, I may take the whole front core support out. Might be easier with this bumper on here, I don't know. I don't know how far my cherry picker will reach in. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a time lapse of all that, and then if I run any troubles, I'll be sure to let you guys know. Alright guys, it's actually the next day. I didn't get the engine pulled out yesterday. It was a pain. This is absolutely the hardest engine I've ever pulled out in my life. I'll show you a couple things that made it hard. Oh, if I can get back up in here. So I ended up pulling the intake because the top two bell housing bolts, you cannot get to them from underneath or the sides. I pulled the inner fender wells out and allowed access to these bolts, but I couldn't get up to the top one because there's a bracket right here. I don't know if you can make that out, but it was in the way, so I had to pull the intake off to get to them. Then what started it all off was unbolting the AC compressor. Both front bolts snapped, and then the AC compressor was corroded onto the bolts. I ended up prying on it. I cracked the casing a little bit. It's not anything critical, it's just for the AC compressor. I also had to pull this inner fender well out to do the same on this side and get the starter out. I got the exhaust manifolds out. I ended up cutting the downpipe in pieces to get it out. And this manifold actually has a crack in it. Just from here all the way around. So it's a good thing I'm replacing those. So the only thing I have left to do today, there's one engine mount, or one bell housing bolt down underneath, easy to get to. I left it in so it didn't separate. Then the engine mounts. I do believe that is it, but we'll find out when I go pull it out. I'm sure I'm missing something. I think that might be it. We're pretty well caught up. I got a couple more things in today. I'll go and show you what I got. I got door bushings. My doors drop down. I don't like it. So I don't know how these work. Never done them before, but about to find out, I guess. You got spark plugs. And I got rear gate hinges for the tailgate, I guess you call it. Seem pretty nice, but it also drops. Then I got my rivet tool for the rivet nuts. These things right here. Put the body armor on with. Seems like a pretty nice little set, but we'll find out when I go use it. Today's actually the nicest day this week, so I want to get this out. Then I'm gonna push it outside and power wash it. This mud has been absolutely terrible, as you can see. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get right to it. I'm pretty tired. I didn't get to bed that early last night like I wanted. So I'm gonna try to get it out and power washed, hopefully. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a time lapse. Alright, got it out. That was really tight fit actually. So those two bolts right there were the ones that were a pain in the butt. That's why I take the intake off, is to get to those. You can see how disgusting this engine is. I'm gonna clean it up best I can and probably paint it. So right through here is where it was leaking at. And you see, looks like somebody's actually been in there before. They're silicone. So I let the air out of the tires so this way the cherry picker go up high enough. Then I setting the axle down on top of the cherry picker legs so I couldn't get it outside it, chill air into the tires. And we're gonna lower this down real quick. Right there's where I broke the timing cover. It's nothing major. And these are supposed to unscrew for the compressor for the air. So now the plan is, I still haven't drained the oil out of it, so I need to do that. I need to get the oil drained out. I need to get the flywheel and stuff off, get it mounted to my engine stand, and I want to shoot some air in these tires. And I'm probably going to pull this outside and power wash it. Seems like a pretty good time to do it all. So I'll set you guys up and we'll go ahead and get the engine mounted first. That's pretty much gonna wrap up this video. If you haven't yet, go ahead and like, subscribe. If you want to see anything more in depth, I guess you'd say, leave me a comment down below, let me know. And make sure you check out the next video.